Rangers lose 3-2 to the Colorado Avalanche in overtime. And the Rangers now are doing something that they rarely did last season. Yes, they have lost 3 games in a row now. And again, something rare that happened last season. So it's very unfortunate to see. There were things that I didn't like. There were things that I liked about this game. We're going to talk about all of it, though. Before we do, be sure to leave a like on the video if you do enjoy. Subscribe if you guys are new, especially for Ranger fans, and turn on your notifications as well so you know when I upload a video. But this game was kind of painful in a lot of aspects because they didn't start on time. They didn't start on time. I guess someone told them puck drop was at 9 o'clock instead of 8 o'clock or 8:30, whatever. Whatever time they were told was not the accurate time because they were just not there in the first period, and it was absolutely embarrassing to watch. They were making the same turnovers. They were making the same sloppy plays in the defensive zone. They weren't making crisp passes at all. Granted, that was kind of a theme the entire night, but at least they got chances a bit later on in the game, I thought. But first period was just a complete nightmare, and I don't really know if there's anything I can highlight from that period at all that I can think of off the top of my head, honestly. And yeah, I mean, there's really just nothing at all. It was a embarrassing period. Simple as that. But in terms of shots in the period, they were 20-11, to put that into perspective for how bad it was. And we'll talk about what happened in the first period, actually, because there were some things that happened. Nichushkin ended up scoring on the power play. Cal McCarr fires a shot from the blue line, and Nichushkin ends up tipping it in. McKinnon will also pick up an assist on that power play goal for the Avalanche. And then the Rangers had to go on the penalty kill because apparently you could high stick your own teammate, and that's a penalty on the team, on the opposing team, I should say. Sure, I guess that's a new rule that I wasn't too aware of. I don't know if you guys were, but I wasn't aware of it personally until tonight. So Alexei Lafreniere ended up in the box. They review it, and yep, he ended up being in the box still after all that. I think they were reviewing for a double minor, which, yep, a double minor from, your own teammate hitting you with your stick makes perfect sense to me. Rangers thankfully killed that one off, but Igor is making some big saves early in this game. Some big saves, which he didn't have a choice but to. And the second period, a lot better, I thought. I thought the Rangers played a lot better in the second period. Probably their best period of the night. That's what I thought, at least. I thought they limited a lot more chances that were coming the other way. Even though Jacob Trouba had to take a dumb hooking penalty. Granted, he didn't have to because Igor Shesterkin made the save of his life. Just diving completely out of the net, making a beautiful save. And yeah, Jacob Trouba, though, got blown by there. I think it was Mikko Rantanen that ended up blowing by him. That was a disaster, but again, thankfully Igor with the save, and thankfully the Rangers ended up killing the penalty. And in terms of what else happened in the second period, you had the puck. I forgot who it was where it rolled over Georgiev, though, and looked like it might have went in. He ended up laying down on the puck, and then you had a scrum after that. Rangers got a couple good other chances, though, as well. And unfortunately, they couldn't score until 18 minutes into the period. Barclay Goodrow scores from Trouba and Blais. Beautiful tic-tac-toe play, even though it should have been that way, and Jacob Trouba should have shot the puck when it hit the tape of his stick. But that's besides the point. The Rangers end up getting a little bit of a lucky break there because, again, that should not have went in. Trouba made the extra pass, and it seems like a theme that the Rangers have been doing, making the extra pass every once in a while. So yeah, in terms of that second period, nothing really much else that happened except for the Rangers at the end drawing a penalty, which was nice. So the Rangers will end up starting the period on the power play, and it does not matter because Igor Shesterkin elects to play the puck for whatever reason on that play, and he turns it over, and the Colorado Avalanche say thank you very much, and Logan O'Connor ends up scoring a shorthanded goal, 2-1 Avalanche. And this ended up being the deciding factor of the game, which is what pisses me off. But by the way, shots in the second, 15-7 in favor of the Rangers. Shots in the third here, 17-14 in favor of the Rangers. But just want to say it before I forget. But yeah, that ended up being the decider of the game, which is infuriating to a degree because, again, if the Rangers started on time, this probably wouldn't have been what it ended up being. But third period, I thought they played decent. I mean, they had a couple other solid chances here and there. And one of them ended up connecting as Adam Fox makes a beautiful play in the defensive zone, gives it off to Parker Goudreau, who passes over the VC. VC with a beautiful pass, finally seeing something from Jimmy VC in the regular season here. And Adam Fox pots his second goal of the season. And the Rangers, you're feeling pretty good to a degree. I mean, it's a 2-2 game. Anything could happen with the way this was being played. Neither team just knew how to play defense in this one. Neither team. I mean, both allowing multiple chances, both turning the puck over a good amount. And it was just all over the place this game. And the shots do not lie for this game for how all over the place it was. Then we ended up going to overtime because the Rangers couldn't end up burying any final chances. Neither could the Avalanche. And the Rangers get in, and it got scary a bit at the end, I will say that. But in overtime, shots were 3-3. I want to mention it before I forget. But in overtime, the Rangers had chances, and they ended up even getting a power play in this one, and they do nothing. Kreider made a couple bad turnovers on that power play there, and there were just a couple really awful plays. Granted, there was also something that aggravated me, and that is the fact that the Avalanche kind of got away with a couple of things, I felt like, at the end of the overtime there, especially that hit on Mika Zibanejad. I thought they got away with a couple of things there, but it is what it is. I'm not here to complain about the officiating. The Rangers needed to play better at the end of the day, and they needed to capitalize on that power play opportunity in overtime, and they did not. And that ended up putting us in a shootout. Of course, a shootout storyline. Alexander Georgiev versus his old team. What could go wrong for the Rangers, right? Well, Nathan MacKinnon ends up missing on his shot. Kakko gets denied. Makar and Zibanejad get denied on their chances. Mikko Rantanen scores the pressure on Panarin. Panarin with a beautiful goal, going forehand, backhand on Alexander Georgiev. Just a beautiful goal there. Unfortunately, though, Evan Rodriguez had a beautiful goal of his own as he drove to the net and made a beautiful move on Igor Shesterkin. And then Lafreniere ended up getting denied. Kakko, I don't know what he was doing on his chance, trying to go 5-hole there. Poor decision. I don't know why. And then Lafreniere as well, doing the same move that he usually does in shootouts. I don't know why they didn't elect to go to Adam Fox. I found that ridiculous. And I don't know why Kakko even went in the shootout at all. Same with Laffy. I mean, both of them, what have they shown to put them in? Granted, I guess, what are your options? I still maybe would have went with Trocheck and Fox before the two, but sure, it is what it is. Yeah, Rangers at least get a point, I guess, but they dropped this one 3-2, and it is very unfortunate as well that they did drop this, and it just stinks. It stings that we are here now with 3 losses in a row in games that they probably should have won with a few of these. And that's what's very unfortunate. The Sharks game, they definitely should have won. They should have probably won tonight. And listen, I was saying I wanted them to go 3-1 in this stretch here of 4 games. Well, this was the one loss I was expecting either way, if I'm being completely honest. So hopefully they end up bouncing back tomorrow. But they had to play better. I mean, Alexander Georgiev, he just had no rebound control. All they had to do really was shoot it and crash the net. But for whatever reason, they forgot to crash the net and they just weren't playing that style of game. I don't know why. But Georgiev was knocking everything down with his glove. Wasn't even holding onto it with his glove. The Rangers had chances there on Georgiev, and they just didn't execute. They just didn't play and adapt to how they needed to against Georgiev, which is what's infuriating about this one. Shots in the game, 46-44 in favor of the Rangers. Face-off percentage, 57-44 in favor of the Rangers. And the power play, 0-for-4, another factor into why the Rangers did not succeed. Hits, 39-24 in favor of the Rangers. Block shots, 16-12 in favor of the Rangers. 11 giveaways for the Rangers, 3 for the Avalanche. In terms of how each forward line played, well, this is where we have the concerns, don't we? Because the top 6 did not contribute really at all. No points from the top 6 at all. Your first line being Kakko, Zibanejad, and Kreider. Didn't like really what I saw. I mean, Zibanejad had a couple chances. Kreider, I didn't like his game at all. I think he's been looking pretty invisible. He's been making some bad plays as well, turning the puck over, poor decisions with the puck. And it's concerning me. What happened to the guy that scored 50 last year? I want him back because Right now, what we're seeing from Kreider is some bad hockey, if I'm being completely honest here. If I'm being completely honest and blunt here, he has not played solid enough hockey. There's no sugarcoating it. Zibanejad going 55% of the dot. Again, 6 shots on goal. I need to see him produce 5-on-5. I need to. He has 2 points at 5-on-5 this season thus far. Sorry. You're not going to win games that way. You're not. I need more from him 5-on-5. Kako, I need a bit more from him. He had a decent game, but I need a bit more. Sorry. You're in the top 6. This isn't a, oh, good job, little Timmy, for playing a good game. No. You have to actually produce and play a quality game. And you need to go out there and produce points. We're not here to reward quality play to a degree. I like quality play. If we're going to lose, at least lose in a game where you're playing some quality hockey. But I didn't see it enough tonight. And they need to step it up a bit. Panarin, Trocheck, and Lafreniere. I thought Panarin played a pretty solid game. 7 shots on goal for him. Played a pretty good game. I like that he was shooting the puck. I like that he got opportunities. Couple times where he turned the puck over that I didn't like, making some dumb passes, leaving it in the middle of the ice. But that's what Panarin does, and we have to just accept that that's who he is. But overall, I thought he played a solid game. Laffy played a decent game. 4 shots on goal for him. Shouldn't have got charged with that penalty. 2 hits on the night for him. Decent game from Lafreniere. And then Trocheck, 79% in the faceoff top. 4 shots on goal. 7 hits. Trocheck was great tonight. He was all over the ice. But again, I need some offensive production. I need some points here from the top 6. I'm sorry, but I need it. Just saying there. Third line, weird, because I thought they played a poor game, but they ended up being the only line to produce any sort of points, as that line was Jimmy Vesey, Barker Goudreau, and Vitaly Kravtsov. Barker Goudreau, abysmal 35% of the faceoff dot. Yikes. But he had a pretty solid night in terms of point-wise. 2 points on the night, a goal and an assist. And he had 2 shots on goal, 4 hits. There were times, though, where he made a couple bad decisions and his skating looked a bit slow at times, also on the penalty kill, and it was definitely hurting them a bit. Same goes for Carpenter, which we'll get to him. But that's my assessment there. Jimmy Vesey, decent game. I mean, you didn't really notice him too much, but he was more noticeable tonight, I felt, than the past few nights. And then Kravtsov, he has not been noticeable. I'm sorry, but he hasn't been noticeable. And then it looked like he got hurt in the middle of one of the plays. It's like, come on, what are we doing here? Getting a bit worried with him, if I'm being honest there. And then the fourth line, you have Blais, Carpenter, and Reeves. Not great. I mean, Sammy Blais, decent, I guess. 3 hits on the night, got a point. He was decent. Better game than he's played as of lately. But still not too much. Ryan Reeves was invisible on the ice, and his numbers back it up. Just zeros across the board. No points, no penalties, no shots on goal, no hits, nothing. No block shots, no giveaways, no takeaways. Just a fat 0 column right there for Ryan Reeves. So invisible. Carpenter, 67% in the faceoff dot, which was nice. 3 hits on the night, which is nice, but still was also virtually invisible. The defense, we saw a little bit of an interesting switch up. We saw Miller get some reps with Fox tonight at times, but it was mostly still Lindgren and Fox, so we'll talk about them. I thought they played a pretty solid game. Adam Fox, I thought, played a great game outside of the first period. The first period, I thought, was pretty bad for him, but after that, I thought he played a very solid game for the rest of the way through. So happy with his game. Lindgren, he was decent. Not really great, not really bad. He was decent. Trouba, not a great night, not a terrible one. I mean, that play that he got absolutely cooked on there, and I mean cooked for that breakaway, was awful. Had to take a stupid penalty. Didn't even have to, but he did take a stupid penalty there. And I mean, there are times where he just aggravates me when I watch him walk the blue line. And I don't know why he was out there as much as he was in overtime. I'm sorry, but after the timeout, Fox should have been out there. Just my opinion on that. But, I mean, he had 8 shots on the night. None of them really stood out to me, though, is the issue. Except for maybe one, I think, in the third period, I want to say it was, where I thought that one might have had a chance of going in. Outside of that, I can't really name you another. And that one almost went 5-hole, I think, or was almost redirected, whichever it was. But Miller, decent game for him as well. I mean, wasn't really a factor in a great way, wasn't in a negative way. It is what it is. Turned the puck over a bit at times, but that was the entire team. Hayek and Schneider, decent night for Schneider. I thought a bit better than he's been as of lately, but he also only got 10 minutes, so we didn't really see much of him. Hayek was actually decent tonight. Hayek was actually decent, and he might end up getting to play tomorrow night. Oh, they have a game tomorrow. Anyway, yeah. Hayek, though, played a decent game tonight. I can't even lie about that. And then Igor Shesterkin kept the Rangers in the game. Shouldn't have played the puck, yes. But, I mean, he's still the reason that the Rangers were even close to winning this game. Simple as that. Making save after save, robbing and robbing chances. But unfortunately, it wasn't enough because the Rangers could not play or couldn't figure out Alexander Georgiev earlier is what I should say. But they need to start on time, and now you're playing a back-to-back. You're playing the Islanders. Is Halak going to be in goal? I don't know. But it's going to be interesting. And one thing that I could say also that got me a bit happy with this game to a degree is, according to the deserve to win meter, we got pretty close. Considering how bad it was early, it was like 81% for the Avalanche. And then by the end of this, we got up to 45%. So it shows they got better as the game went on. But I still need a bit more. I need a bit more. I need this defense cleaned up, and I need it cleaned up stat. And the passes need to get crisper. I don't know what happened from that game against Tampa from opening night, but I want that team back. Let's go. Wake up. Thank you guys so much for watching this one. If you did enjoy, leave a like on it. Subscribe if you guys are new, especially for Ranger fans. Turn on notifications so you know when I upload next, and I will see you in the next one. Let's go, Rangers.